Well, in stark contrast, a very dry, warm March has turned out to be a very wet April. In fact, it's been so wet that we're seeing some 65% above normal rainfall across England. And that is, of course, going to have an impact on the drought. Is it going to erase the drought? Well, no, it isn't going to erase it, but certainly we're heading in the right direction. The past 2 years has been exceptionally dry, and we are seeing an exceptionally wet April. A vast contrast compared to what we've seen back last month, just where we've seen, of course, Scotland break the all-time March record 3 days in a row. And what we're seeing here is a very, very big turnaround indeed. In fact, Sheffield in Yorkshire is seeing its wettest April on record, would you believe, at over double the normal rainfall for the month of April. So certainly very impressive rainfall. And over the next 72 hours, folks, unfortunately, we're going to see yet more big rainfall heading up from France. Now, if I show you here, this is the current chart of the GFS I'm saying surface map. It's the precipitation chart. Now, if I skip through the 18 hours, you'll notice here what I'm talking about. That there's very little in terms of what's taking place. During the day tomorrow, we're going to see a fine day across Scotland, the north of England. That extends into Northern Ireland and parts of the Republic as well. Basically because of surface high pressure and control. Now, the rains of today, the very heavy showers that we're seeing and we have seen across parts of Nottinghamshire, Oxfordshire, through Somerset, Cornwall, Devon, those showers and thunderstorms are going to then push southwards, and what it will do is it's actually going to push back onshore during the day tomorrow. So it is going to be, unfortunately, a wet day across parts of Suffolk through into the southeast of England as well. But further north, although it's going to be a cloudy day across parts of the Midlands, it should stay dry. Further north, it's actually going to be a reasonable day indeed. Now, if I skip through that about 24 hours from now, what you'll see is you're going to start to see the rain develop here over the northern parts of France. And that's going to eventually, into Sunday, work its way northwards up through the UK, expecting very heavy rain, persistent rain across southern, central and northern parts of the British Isles, working its way into southern and central Scotland late in the day Monday, or should I say Sunday into Monday morning. I expect to see that rain pushing into the central belt of Scotland. But certainly, I'm really struggling to buy into the idea at the moment that we're going to see tremendous amounts of wind with this feature. Now, if I show you the surface chart of the GFS, this here is by 24 hours. By 36 hours, you notice the isobars starting to pack together. That indicates the area of low pressure that's going to work its way northwards. By 42 hours, you know, the surface chart is indicating reasonably tightly packed isobars. And that is going to indicate some windy conditions. Is it going to produce very strong gale force winds? That remains to be seen, to be honest with you. The reason why I say that, folks, is because we've got pressure still at 1008 millibars here across the south of England. Now, we've got the area of low pressure starting to show itself at 994. That pressure isn't particularly low. The only reason why I think we may see strong winds with this system, perhaps 20 to 30 mile an hour sustained, gusts 40 to 50, is because we've got an area of surface high pressure combined with the low pressure down across France. That pressure gradient would indicate strong winds, but it's a surface feature. The upper level feature itself isn't overly impressive, certainly according to the ECMWF, that is anyway. But if I skip through to around 48 hours, what you notice here is that surface area of low pressure down at 992, not particularly strong. is actually starting to show itself going westward, so it's not going to get up towards the south coast of England. By 66 hours, you notice here that this feature is now starting to push out and back out into the Atlantic again. Notice how the isobars start to spread out. We've got an area of higher pressure starting to build at the surface once again, but it's going to remain unsettled, folks, for the upcoming week, I think, and taking us into the month of May. Now, this is the current chart of the ECMWF, the upper level chart. You notice what's taking place here. I'm expecting some big rains from Spain up through France, the Low Countries, into southern parts of Scandinavia. We've got cooler feeding into the northern half of the British Isles. Tonight and tomorrow night, expect some rural frost to develop. Towns and cities down to 1 or 2 Celsius. Under those clear skies. Now, it's raining at the moment, but I expect to see here across central Scotland those skies starting to clear out as the night progresses. But you notice here the warmth that's getting transferred from Algeria, from northwest Africa, northeastwards, up along this boundary here, separating the cool and settled conditions with the more settled, warmer conditions. Expect big rains here to develop here, folks. And as well as that, plenty of heat as well coming out of the southwest. Now, by Friday into Saturday, that heat advances up into the parts of Central Europe. So you're expecting temperatures to push 30 Celsius across parts of, well, basically to the north of the Alps, up over parts of the Czech Republic, into parts of southern and central Germany as well. That heat into the 20s will transfer up through Poland into parts of European Russia as well. Very warm for this time of year. By Sunday, it's still plenty warm. You notice that even that heat starts to intensify further. I expect to see 30s in parts of Central Europe during the day of Thursday. Notice the area of low pressure cutting off from the main jet stream. It's becoming a cut-off area of upper level low pressure. So that means expect very unsettled, cool conditions across Portugal, Spain as well. And unfortunately, it's going to be pretty messy, I think, all the way down into the Canary Islands. While at the same time, we've got that heat really pushing up across parts of Germany, even into parts of France as well. We could be looking at northeastern parts of France, pushing into the upper 20s as well. Now, notice what's taking place here. We've got an area of upper level low pressure here off Iberia. We've also got another area of upper level low pressure here over parts of southeastern Europe. Now, these two here features are going to act like wheels, pushing that heat from central and western parts of Africa northwards. So do not be surprised here during the day on Sunday that we see record-breaking heat across parts of northeast France, through Germany, into Poland, down into the Czech Republic as well. And that heat, folks, is going to push into parts of Russia as well. Moscow, I do expect to see mid-20s by Sunday during the day on Sunday for parts of Moscow and Russia as well. Notice here, upper level low pressure continuing to hold firm over southwestern parts of Europe. Keep checking back. There's a lot of weather to talk about, and I'll try and keep you up to date as much as possible. Have a good day, folks. Bye-bye.